Okay.
We're live? All right. Hello, everybody. It's
Welcome.
Devin and Lisa here, and we are doing our Wednesday fireside chat. We're out here at the Great Blue Heron. What number is that? Is that the 9th hole there? We're just
Yes.
That's, 9 coming off of the fountain there.
Yeah.
And our camera operator is Jess McNutt. She's our director of security. So thank you, Jess, for helping us out today. So hopefully you can hear us. Tell us if you make a comment that you can't hear or whatever. Jess is watching and she'll let us know. If you have any questions, feel free to type them in, and Jess will let us know if you have any questions. But today we're going to talk about wine. We're going to talk a little bit about Ponzi Vineyards. They were supposed to be our winemaker dinner this month. And I have some fun little facts for you, and just welcome and thank you for joining us again. But we're just kind of really casual, just taking everything in stride here, doing what we can to we have the takeout at Great Blue Heron still from 11 to 6 every day, and just making plans and being ready for whenever we can open back up fully and welcome you back. And we certainly miss everybody, and we miss our team, and it just doesn't feel the same being here when it's so quiet. So we hope that everyone is well and taking care of themselves and getting some sunshine.
Yeah.
So
The outdoors while it's nice.
I know. All right, so we're going to talk a little bit about, actually we have a wine club here at Semiahmoo, and it's kind of hard to have meetings right now when we have to be socially distanced, but we're working on ways, and I'm thinking of things that we can do when we can meet again to be together. And and we also do wine dinners every month, but of course we've had to cancel. We canceled Ponzi, that was supposed to be here this month, and next month Abeha from Walla Walla was supposed to be here, but that has been canceled, and we'll hopefully reschedule with them next year. And but we'll be talking about them and featuring their wine next week. And as April is Walla Walla month, so we want to celebrate all things Walla Walla. And Abeha is a fantastic winery. It's a small one. They only produce like 7,000 cases a year, so considerably small, but their wines are absolutely delicious, and they're part of our Columbia Hospitality family. And so I'm always so happy to promote other Columbia Hospitality properties. So this week we have Ponzi. So Ponzi is in Willamette. I butcher all the words, so Willamette Valley in Oregon, and they have quite a bit of obviously Pinot Noirs, because we all know that Oregon is one of the a top producer of Pinot Noirs. And but we do have the Chardonnay here, because that's what I had. So we have a Chardonnay here, and tomorrow Devin is going to be doing a salmon and sunchoke dish that will pair really nicely with this Chardonnay. And after this is over, I'm going to be posting on the Facebook page a list of the Ponzi wines that you can purchase at a great price. It's case only, but I'll have it on the website for you, because we just want to pass on their fantastic wines to you and give you an opportunity to take them home, because I think we're all drinking a little bit more at home these days than normal. So one of the things I love about Ponzi is currently it's being run by women, and if you saw us a couple weeks ago, I was promoting Burgibbon Lane because it's owned and run by women, and I am all for promoting anything that is run by women. And so there's two sisters, the Ponzi sisters, and one does the sales and marketing, and the other one is the actual winemaker. And their family moved to Oregon and started this winery in the 1960s, and actually opened, the grand opening was 1970. So it's fantastic to support a family business too. My family's always had entrepreneur businesses, and it's just always so great to promote that, as well as incredible wine. So it's just a win-win-win. They are actually Live Certified Sustainable, and I'll let Devin talk a little bit about what that means.
Yeah, definitely. So when I was in California, I worked for a biodynamic winery. Now, Ponzi doesn't run the full biodynamics, but they still have one of the highest certifications of sustainability for a winery in the States. And so through that sustainable certification, they're required to biodiversify, have multiple types of crops so that they're not just a single monoculture. They also bring in animal husbandry, so they'll have chickens that will come and fertilize as well as tear up the ground, go after cutworms and things like that at the beginning of the season. And then the winery I worked at, we actually had sheep as well, and those would be transitioned throughout the vineyard at different times of the year as well as a natural kind of additive to the whole process. Plus there's setups as far as the vineyard goes, and so you have windrows, you have breaks in the vineyard so that you're not running just completely vineyards, and again creates a sustainability, brings in more life. So I know a big part of that is to have natural, obviously there aren't any not using pesticides or anything else, but incorporating natural bugs and bringing in other things to help to try to manage naturally in those ways. So they're doing a great job at it for sure.
Yeah. So doing little wine 101. So I host a lot of wine tastings here with different groups, and I'm looking forward to doing that again in the future. And so one of the things I love to do when I'm doing my wine tastings with groups is I like to make fun of my mother. So bear with me as I make fun of my mom a little bit. In all good, you know, was that good heart? I have good heart. I love my mom. Anyways, my mom always tells me, she goes, Lisa, she goes, white wine doesn't have any legs. I'm like, yes it does, Mama, you just can't see it anymore. But white wine does have legs, so you always want to, you see people, you know, swishing the wine in their glass. And there's actually just a really simple reason why you do that. It just simply coats the glass. And so if there was any residue of soap, or even if you have hard water or well water, any flavor left on the glass is just simply all taken over by the wine. You know, also brings a little bit more oxidation. See, I butcher words. Oxidization. I swear I've had one sip. But it does just coat the glass, and you want to smell before you drink. Take a sip, smell it again, and just kind of let it roll in your mouth. See what you can taste. What did you taste when you tasted this one?
A nice light vanilla. It's got a soft kind of finish to it. Definitely not too definitely not too much malolactic fermentation. Yeah. So it's nice and well balanced. It's not too you don't really taste the oak as much. It's nice and balanced. And like I said, I taste more of a vanilla kind of note more than anything.
Slight honey.
Yeah.
Just very slightly, which I love, and actually one of the ones I love about Abeja. Abeja is Spanish for bee, and so they have a lot of honey notes in their Chardonnay, and that's helped me actually grow to be more fond of Chardonnays by picking up that note of honey. So it's very nice.
Yeah, it's an intensity come through on the lighter, crisper Chardonnays in comparison to the heavy oak and butteriness that malolactic fermentation will process.
Right. So the legs is actually a sign of the sugar content in the wine, and the higher the sugar usually means the higher the alcohol content. Not always, there's always an exception to the rule, but generally. So when you do swirl and you do see thick legs, generally it'll tell you it's a higher sugar content and generally be a higher alcohol content. And my mama, bless her soul, she loves to guess, so she'll swirl her glass and she makes a game out of it, and she goes, I bet I can tell you, red only because white doesn't have legs, remember, that how much alcohol is in that bottle. And she's actually pretty good. I mean, most wines are from 11 to 14%, so it's, you know, it's not a huge range, but she's pretty good. So it's a lot of fun. So, and when you do have a get together, I always suggest you start off with a bottle of bubbles, because bubbles are just always a good idea. And then white wine to start, and then work your way into reds if you're doing a full-on tasting. You always want to store your bottles on the side, and that just helps any oxygen getting in through the cork, because eventually it will make its way through, and so storing your bottles on the side is also recommended. So I'm trying to think of other things that I tell people. I generally tell people to, you know, a lot of people think that you have to have white wine with white meat. That's not necessarily true. I think with salmon, Pinot Noir is lovely. And it really depends on the herbs and how you're cooking it, and even the style of wine. And so just because it's a Merlot doesn't mean it's going to taste a specific way. Maybe that winemaker added a little bit more of a licorice flavor, or it's more mellow. So that will change how you want to pair that with your food. And at the end of the day, it's just preference. It's just preference. Everybody likes something different. There is no wrong answers, so just have fun with it. And in this time right now, I suggest just go for the box. You just go for the box of wine, and you just drink all that wine, and then you just blow up the bag, and you have a little pillow. Sorry, that's my attempt at being funny. So, tomorrow's cooking class, do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I'm going to feature Nurka line-caught coho salmon, Nurka sea frozen salmon, our friends Kelly and Joel, and we're going to use one of their beautiful line-caught salmon. And we're going to do sunchokes, which is another from Slanted Hill Farms, and that's another wonderful winter, actually springtime kind of crop that we have right now from a local producer. And I'm going to do that 3 different ways. And so if you're unfamiliar with working with sunchokes, I'll give you 3 different options on how to work with them and kind of fun different textures with those. And then we're going to make a wine butter sauce for the salmon as well, using Ponzi wine. So it should be fun.
Be great. So make sure you tune in tomorrow at 3 o'clock. And then I just have a few little wine fun facts for you, because I'm nerdy like that. Did you know that wine is fat-free and cholesterol-free? Mm-hmm. It's not sugar-free, but it is fat-free. California has more Chardonnay grapes than anywhere else in the world. And I really do normally like California Chardonnays, but this is really fantastic. This is so nice and light that I think that if you're thinking of Chardonnay, that heavy, buttery, oaky, this is not it. So you probably would really like this. Did you know that the wreck of the Titanic holds the oldest wine cellar in the world? Despite the wreckage and the depth, the bottles are still intact. So hey, we can just store these bottles for a long time. And then the polyphenolism, right?
Polyphenols.
See, I butchered the words. It's in wine and in chocolate, actually. It increases the blood flow and oxygen to your brain. It boosts cognitive ability, so the effects are more beneficial as you age. So Mom, keep drinking your wine. It's all good. If you put ice and salt in a bucket, if you're in a hurry and you forgot to throw your white wine or champagne in the fridge, just add some salt to your ice in a bucket, and that will actually chill your wine faster than using cold water or putting it in the, don't put it in the freezer. And then here's my favorite one. I didn't know this till I looked it up. Women are better at tasting wine because, especially in the reproductive ages, because we have a better sense of smell. So there you go. Sorry, fun fact. If you want us to talk about anything, if there's any wine that you want us to talk about, or any facts that you want to know, or tips, or what to pair wine with what kind of cheese, please send them in and we're happy to answer your questions. And then make sure again tomorrow you tune in at 3 o'clock tomorrow, and Chef Devin is going to do us a cooking demo, and you don't want to miss it. So thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Cheers.
Cheers.